Hey everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera just gonna because I'm gonna be looking at this other screen here. And let me bring this up. Welcome. Today is all about the Ebook Central app. I'm gonna run through some slides, but then I'm also gonna jump over into a live demo so we can kind of see this in action. Um, the Ebook Central Reader app is going to be taking place of what's currently used when you do a full download, which is Adobe Digital Editions. So just some session objectives today. At the end of this session, you'll know how to download the new Ebook Central app. You'll know how to download a title in the Ebook Central app and read it, where to go to manage your devices, and then learn where to go for additional help. Just a couple things that the ebook Central Reader app is not required to use for you to use the online reader. So your users can still go to ebook Central, they can do a search, they can open the book, they can view the book, they can search through the book. This is for those users when they do a full download. So they want to download the title for offline reading later. And the current process is they use the third-party software, the Adobe Digital Editions. So once your library has elected to enable the app, then that means when a user goes to click on download the book, instead of seeing Adobe Digital Editions, they will then be prompted to download the eBook Central Reader app. So your institution may not have the app enabled yet. So, and there is time for your institution to decide when that's going to be there. And I'll point some of this information out towards the end. And I'll also send it to Devin as well so that she can share it with you. But uh, we're kind of moving customers over in waves. So you can select which wave date you want to be a part of. Right now, there are dates through 2025, but there will be more dates in 2026. So you have some time. So you have some time to look at this and to watch the training materials and for you to decide when it's best for your library to move over. So just a few things about the eBook Central Reader app. One, it is an in-house app. It's a mobile app. It provides library users with an easy way to download and read ebooks from their library. Again, it's built in-house, which means our team has full control on features and functionality. We're putting more focus on usability and accessibility within the app. And our initial release provides a full reader and bookshelf experience for titles from eBook Central. And just talking about the initial release and kind of in that middle column there for the reading experience. Right now in this initial release, you're going to see in-depth book details. It does support reading and navigating both EPUBs and PDFs. You can adjust the reading size, the font size. You can copy text, you can do an in-book search, and you can create bookmarks. Right now in this initial release, there are no other annotating capabilities, so you can't highlight and you can't add text, but that is definitely something that's going to be in future releases. So that is being worked on. So just we'll kind of walk through the process of downloading the app, but there will be different ways that you're prompted to download the app. For example, if I'm doing a search and I open the online reader and I click download and I haven't downloaded the app yet, it's going to prompt me to download the app. This is just kind of showing if you sign into eBook Central and you want to go ahead and download the app before you start searching. This is just kind of the way we'll look at it. And when we do the live demo, I'll show you a different way that you can do it. So most eBook Central sites require you to sign in to gain access to the site. And when we mean sign in, that's where you're signing into your own personal account. So this is if you have library users who have saved things to what we call their bookshelf. So maybe they've saved titles into different folders, they've downloaded full books, things like that. That's what we mean by signing into your own personal account, which is referred to your bookshelf account. So when you sign in, if you click on profile, This is where you're going to see your name and where you can change your email, but you're going to see this new option that says EBC app devices manage/get code. So if you click on that, this is where you're at the manage your devices screen. Right now, this example says I'm using 0 of 6 available devices. This is where you can download the app and we'll be taken to the download screen, or you can get a registration code. And we're going to talk about that registration code more here in just a minute. So here is the download ebook central app page. This shows you where you have 4 options for downloading the app. So if you want to download it to a Windows computer, if you are on a MacBook, it is available in the App Store for Apple and also in the Google Play Store for Android. So if I were to click on one of those, I'd follow the installation instructions. Those apply to personal devices as well as managed devices without restrictions set. And when we say restrictions, just to give you an example, if if I'm on my work computer, if I go to download any kind of software, I typically do not have the administrative rights to download software to my computer. So just know that if you are on a work computer and there are restrictions set, if you click on download, it's going to pop up and say you need the admin username and password. If you're on your personal device, you go to download it on your laptop or your iPad or your iPhone. You're not going to get that pop-up asking you for that administrative email and password. So uh, in my case, if I go to click on it, download it, I have to have administrative rights, then I'm going to have to contact my IT department. So once you've downloaded the app to whatever device you're wanting to download it to, the first time you go to open the app, you're going to be asked for a registration code. And that's what this get registration code option is here for. You need this registration code to register your app after you've downloaded it. Each registration code is unique and can be used only once. After a code has been used to register a device, it's then marked as expired. So if I download the app onto my laptop, I enter a registration code, then I go to download the app on my iPhone. I have to enter a different registration code. Same thing if I want to download it onto, if I have an Android device, I go to download the app, I'm going to have to enter a different registration code. So you can download the app on up to 6 devices. 6 different devices. So when you go to open that app for the first time, it's going to ask for that code. So you'll be prompted to enter that registration code and you would click submit, and then the app would open. And if there are any questions that are coming in through the chat, I can't see the chat at the same time, but there will be some time at the end also for me to answer questions. So downloading a title, again, a full download is downloading the book for offline access, and it's going to require the user to download and install the Ebook Central app if they haven't already. There are multiple places where the download option can be found, and also some of this is dependent upon on how your institution has set up downloads. For some, you're going to see the download book option on the book details page. So it's underneath the cover and also here on the right in the details. Some institutions have it set up where they want the user to go into the online reader first before they're given the option to download. So users may not see this on the details page, but when they go into the online reader, they can see download. And then also when you're searching, if your library allows, you'll see it on the search results as well. You'll see the little icon for the full download. Just same as before, some eBook Central books may not be available for full download. It depends on publisher settings, and that's always been the case. And also library settings. Some libraries don't permit full downloads. So I will go into Lib Central and kind of show you where you can find those settings, but some libraries do not permit full downloads. If I go to click on download and I'm not signed in, I'm going to be prompted to sign in. And then also I'm going to be prompted to download the app if I haven't done so already. So this is just an example of when we're in the online reader, we have that download option, that icon there at the bottom. Again, if you click on that and you're not signed in, it's going to ask you to sign in, and then it's going to ask you to download the app. You'll then be prompted to select how long you want to check this item out or have this download. Those download days, whether they're 1 day, 7 days, 14 days, those are all dependent on the library's settings. So the library, you determine, how many days you want someone to be allowed to download a book. So we would select how many days we want to download this or how many days we want to check it out for the loan length. And we get a confirmation that says, this book is now going to appear in the Ebook Central app on all your devices. I can see that I'm using one of 6 devices. And it also gives me a link to go and manage any of those devices if I want to. So if I've installed the app on 6 devices, if I've downloaded this book, it's going to show up within my app on all 6 of those devices. So we'll take a look at kind of how the book looks within the app. So when you go to open your app, you're taken to your bookshelf, which we're viewing the bookshelf. This is the thumbnail view. You can change between a thumbnail view and a list view. You also have the ability to change the language within the app. Again, this just changes the language of the app. It doesn't change the language of the book itself. But we have 2 options where we can do list view or thumbnail view. We're going to see in our book details here, I've got 2 books in this example that have been added to my bookshelf. I have not actually downloaded them within the app yet. So you'll see I have the option to download and I have the option to go to book details. So if I click on download, you'll see that in the thumbnail view, this changes, the book cover goes kind of from being grayed out to having color. And now instead of download, I have the option to click on read and to open that book. And this is just an example of that in the list view here, where we can see the title of the book. We also see the book details and the read option for this first title because it's already downloaded. The second title, I haven't downloaded it yet, so I see the book details and the option to download. You'll also, once you start using the app, you're going to see a little widget here that will take you to the very last book and page of the book that you were last reading. So you can quickly click on that continue reading to jump back to where you were at. And these are just showing the 2 side by side, the thumbnail view versus the list view, but just showing where you can see when your loan's expired, if it's expired, and this kind of option here is showing the download and progress here. You see the little circle kind of half filled. Clicking on the book details, you'll see a little panel pops up here on the right, and from here you can click on a section of the table of contents and immediately be taken to that section within the book. You can also click on read, which is going to take you to that first page. So if we click on read, this is what the book is going to look like in the app. And we'll take a look at some of these icons in action when we actually go into the live demo. But just to point out, the A icon here is where you can adjust the font size. The book details here, this book opens and closes the book details. You'll see copy allowances, so if copies are allowed. Again, that copy allowance is based on publisher settings. So you may be able to copy 50 pages in one title, but maybe only be able to copy 30 pages in another title. But those would be listed here. You can see the table of contents icon, then the bookmarks icon. So if we have any saved bookmarks in this, we can go to our bookmarks to manage those. And then our search within option is that last one here on the right. And then down at the bottom, here's our copy icon, our bookmark icon if we want to add a bookmark to this page, and then we can scroll through the pages using the arrows. Oops. Talking about just removing a download, there are two things that you're going to see. You'll see remove download, and then you'll see delete. So remove download, if there is still days left on the loan, you can remove the download, but it's going to leave that option for you to download that book again until that loan has expired. So we can click on remove download. It's going to say, do you want to remove this? And we can say yes. But it still keeps it in our bookshelf, but instead of reading, we would just have to re-download that again. If a loan has expired and you want to clean up your bookshelf, that's when you'll have the option where you can delete the book, but you're not going to see that delete book option until after a loan has actually expired. And then just to talk about managing our devices, on that manage devices screen, again, if I want to download the app to additional devices, I have to have a registration code for each of those devices. So that's where I can get that code, is on that manage devices screen. And then you also have the option to remove devices. So say if I got a new phone, I'm no longer using the iPhone that I downloaded the app to, I can remove that iPhone and then download it to my new phone if I needed to. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the live demo so we can take a look at this here. Let me just refresh my screen. And I am going to go ahead and log into this demo account here. Okay, so I'm actually logged in, but I just want to show, like, if I'm going to, I'm just going to do a search here. I'm just going to do a search. And in this case, I can download from my search results. So if I want to click on download from here, I can do the full download from here. If I, let's see, want to go into the details page here. Actually, let me choose another one. Some of these I have already downloaded, so I just want to make sure it's going to get something new on here. Okay, so you'll see I see the download book option here, the download book option here. Again, I can read this online. I don't have to do a full download. And I'm actually going to show you a way where you can go, if you are the administrator for your eBook Central, if you're the one that goes into Lib Central, you can get a report that shows how many downloads you've actually had in the last year. So you can, and how many unique users have actually downloaded books. So if I'm in this book and I decide, you know what, I'm reading through this, but I want to download this for later. When I click on full download, it's first going to ask me, how long do I want to check this out for, or my loan length. I'm just going to do 1 day. I'm going to confirm. And it says, this book is now appears in your eBook Central app, and I'm using 0 of 6 devices. So I don't have any devices yet, so I don't have the app installed. But when I click continue, it's going to prompt me to download the app. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this code here. So I'm going to download the app. I'm on my Windows computer, so I'm going to select the Windows download option. But again, if I'm on my Mac, I would do the Mac. If I'm on my phone, I'd do the iPhone or the Android. So I'm going to select download, and I'm just going to follow the instructions. It's a very quick installation here. We'll open the file, and I'm going to go ahead and just click install. And this actually popped up on my other screen, so let me bring it over here. So I had selected launch after installation. So this is, I click, I open the app, And like I said, if it's the first time me opening the app, I have to register this. So that's where that code comes in. And I click on submit. Uh-oh. That is the first time that has happened. So let me go back and get my, let's do this again. Sorry about that. We'll go get code. We'll copy this one and we'll try again. Okay, there we go. Not sure why that happened. That's the first of that. So it takes me to my bookshelf here. As you can see, this is in the thumbnail view. I can go to my list view here. Again, I can select the language, change the language of the app. So if I want to view this in Spanish, I can do that. Again, it's just changing the app language, not the book language. I'll change this back to English. Here you can see I've got the book details, I've got the download, and then I have the remove download and delete book, but those options are grayed out because I can't do that yet. So we'll go ahead and click on download. And from here now, you'll see that where that switched from download to read. If I click on the book details, this little panel pops up here on the right, and I can click read. And that's going to bring that title up. I can jump to specific pages here. I can also, my settings here to change the font size. Right now, this, you can change the font size to bigger or to smaller. There is not right now a way in the app itself to change the font color or the font type, but that is, again, going to be in a future release. But we can make the font size bigger. I can click on the book details page, and this is where I can see things like my copy allowances. I'm allowed to copy 39 pages. I'll just go ahead, and if I select my icon down here at the bottom for copy, it's not the prettiest copy, but it does copy. So it's I can copy this to the clipboard. It's copying the the page, the current text here. I can copy the clipboard, and you'll see where that then narrows my pages to copy down to 36. I can jump to a particular part here in the table of contents, and we'll go ahead and just add that as a bookmark. And then in my annotations right now, again, it's just bookmarks, but I can manage these annotations. We see, the bookmark that I just created on this page, but I can delete this if needed. If I want to go on and add, additional bookmarks, I can do that here. I can also search within the book. The biggest difference between searching within the book on the app and searching within the book within the online reader on the actual platform is you can do a search, but it is not, unfortunately, going to highlight those terms for you. But you can, we'll just do a search for a word that we know is in there. It will point you to the page where that term is included. So, we can jump down and see that there are 6 results on page 2. I can go to page 2, but as you can see, it's not going to highlight those results for me, but it does point me to that page. Let me go back. to my bookshelf view now, whether I'm in the thumbnail view or the list view, you're now going to see that little widget that's going to take you back to the last page that you were on, so you can quickly go to continue reading. This is where, let's say I want to remove this download. If I remove it, again, it's not going to take it away from my bookshelf because I still have days left on the loan. But when this loan expires, you'll then see the option to delete that book and you can remove it from your bookshelf. Okay, let me minimize this. I'm going to go back to my Ebook Central platform and just to show you where that is again, under the profile, when I'm logged in, here is my EBC app devices and my manage and get code. So this is where I can see, my active devices where I have the app downloaded on. So right now I just have this on my Windows computer. Again, I could go right now and download it onto my iPhone, get that login code. If I get that login code, close it. If you get the login code and you wrote it down wrong or you copied it wrong, it's not a big deal. You can just come back and get another login code. So, but you do have to register each of those devices. And here I can remove the device if I want to. Again, if I'm no longer using this particular computer, I can then remove that device. Okay, let me go to a couple things here. I'm going to go to my demo libcentral account. If you are the administrator for libcentral or the administrator for ebook central, I want to show you kind of how you can see your settings. If you go to system settings here under settings and system, you can you'll see whether your app status is enabled or not. It's probably not at this point if you're joining this session, but this shows you whether the app is enabled or disabled. It also, if you go into your access permissions here and go into your default user, you're going to see things like, does my institution even permit downloads at this point? Some yes. Do I have to download from the reader? My account says no, but some of these may say yes. Again, that's your library's requiring the user to actually open the title up in the online reader before they're given the option to do the full download. Under the reports, if you bring up this usage report here, I'm not even going to run this report, but we can see here's the dates here from last August until this August. If I look, and I can change those if I wanted to do the last few years, but if you just quickly look at this view up here at the top, there's this view summary option. If I click on view summary, I can quickly get a look at how many downloads there have been over the last year. So here I can see for this account, there was 102 downloads and they were done by 10 unique users. So 10 different users downloaded books with over the last year. So these are full downloads. So you may want to take a look at that just to get an idea, how many of our users or patrons are actually doing full downloads. You might want to take a look at that before you decide, which date you want to move over to the app. So speaking of that, I'm going to go to, and I'm going to send you links to this. I just want to make sure I'm opening the right thing here. Sorry. We do have an ebook central reader app resources hub and some things that are important here. Everything actually on this page is important. But here are for initiating the switch from Adobe Digital Editions. Every library is going to have to tell us when they want to make the switch. And even if your library does not permit downloads, we still have to get the okay to initiate the switch. So these are kind of the next upcoming waves, dates that users are going, or libraries are going to be moved over to the new app. You can select which wave you want to be in. Again, right now, dates are posted through December 8th, but there'll be more dates in 2026. So don't feel like you have to make a decision and, within the next week, you have to move over to the app. You can take some time to look at it, things like that, and look at additional information and make that decision. And when it says week beginning, so for like December 8th, it doesn't mean that you'll fill out the form for your institution and all, this upgrade request form. You'll say which wave you want to be a part of. And even though it says the week beginning December 8th, once you fill out this upgrade request form and you say which wave you want to be in, the books team is going to reach out to you and say, okay, the week of December 8th, which day of that week actually works best for you? So even though that's a week beginning December 8th, which is on a Monday, you may not want to enable that until Friday. There are also additional sessions here that are run by the product team. So these are on-demand sessions, and I really would encourage you to go and watch these. These are talking about next steps. And also, if you have very specific questions that I'm not answering in this session or that I can't answer in this session, the product team is managing these and watching the chat. So again, it's on demand. You can watch the session. If you put a question in the chat, they will get back with you with that answer. So these both are very good, again, for admins. And then they do a walkthrough of the app. Then we have some kind of technical specifications. There's also more information about accessibility and some of the screen readers that have been tested with both the eBook Central platform and the app itself. There's also a managed installer. And when I say managed installer, there may be some, for example, a college university, perhaps you provide iPads to all of your incoming freshmen, or, so if you have managed devices and your IT department wants to push the app out to all of those managed devices, there is a managed installer, and this is where you would go for that. And you'll see when it pops up here that there is a managed installer for Windows devices and then a managed installer for Mac devices. And this was last updated the 21st. Go back to, sorry, I have to keep minimizing that because there's something up at the top of my screen that kind of gets in the way of that. And then there are some additional end user resources, kind of some quick walkthroughs. I'll show you our LibGuide here in a minute. And then also the FAQs for the eBook Central app. I'll also send a link for our LibGuide here. Oh, let me point out also marketing materials. If you need any marketing materials, those are also on that resources page as well. So the eBook Central LibGuide here, we do have, this is for end users. You can link to any of this. You can use any of this for your patrons, once you've moved over to the app. If you want to link to any of these, this is a very short recorded presentation, kind of, I think about 10 minutes long, walking through, how to download the app, how to open a book on the app, etc. There's a quick installation guide that's available here. And then we kind of have some simplified instructions on the page itself as well. And then let me see what else I had open here. This is our FAQs here as well, just talking about system requirements and just other kind of, frequently asked questions that you might want to take a look at here. Okay, I know that was a lot, and I'm not sure if I've seen any questions come in, because again, I can't see the...
We have some good questions
Okay,
that
there we
came
go.
in the chat. So
There we go.
Lori, sorry, Lori, I'll read those out
No,
to
you're
you.
fine.
So the first one is, I was looking through the documentation and saw where it said if a user signs out of the app on a device, that the device will no longer appear on the managed devices in their profile on eBook Central. Is there a reason for this? I'm imagining a situation where someone's phone has had an update and it automatically logs them out of the app, and the patron getting frustrated because they have to go through the registration process again.
Yeah. And that is correct. So if the app closes or if you logged out of the app, it's going to ask you when you open the app, it's going to ask you for another registration code again. Yes. And that's where they would have to go to their profile and get that registration code. I know a lot of times for me, like I don't typically sign out of my apps, but I know, yeah, if your phone goes through an update or if an update is pushed out, then yes, you're going to have to get that, another registration code. If and then I see if you're reading multiple books at once, will there be multiple continue reading sections? It's only going to display the very last book that you were in. So if you have 10 books, but you were in, the third or fourth one on your list, it's going to take you to that third or fourth one.
Gotcha.
Uh, okay, and then I appreciate that when you download a book from EBC, the download will be visible on all the registered devices. But we are very much looking forward to the reading process being synced across all devices, which I believe isn't available yet. Uh, I'll have to check on that because I thought that it was. So I'll have to see about that. But I know that some libraries and institutions have been doing a lot of testing on this for us. So I'll have to see if that's something. I thought it didn't matter which device you open the app up on. If you're reading on one, it should be syncing with the other. But I'm going to double check on that, and I'll send that with Devin when I send these links.
Yeah, sounds good. And then will there be a notice sent out when this feature is available or other in the works features when other features are released?
Yes. So when new features are released, we really do try to, well, I say we, but the books team will typically send out a notice to whoever your admin is listed in Lib Central. But then we also, us, the customer success managers, really try to reach out to our libraries as well, saying, just in case you didn't see this, there's a new feature happening.
Mhm.
Think but yes, there should be notices sent out. Yes. And trust me, we will be when especially some of those big features that people have been asking for, like I know one is being able to do the hand swipe across pages to be able to change pages versus having to use the arrows. That's a big one. Anything accessibility related, we will definitely be making sure people know when those new features are available.
Mhm. Nice. Any other questions? Feel free to send them in the chat. We have a question here saying, please describe what a user will experience with a one user book that has been downloaded and the term hasn't ended, or it has been removed but not deleted.
So removed from like their bookshelf. So when the user, whether it's a one user, reuser, unlimited access, however many days that user selects to check out the book, and again, those loan dates or loan lengths are determined by each individual library. So once their loan is done, it's done. So whether it's done before the end of the semester or after the semester, and they'll see it on their bookshelf, but they won't be able, if the loan's expired, they won't be able to re-download it, but they can delete it from their bookshelf, but it'll remain like on their bookshelf, but they won't have that download option. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
These are all good questions. And again, it's going to be up to your library when you want to make this move. And let me make sure that on this resource hub here, there is this update request form. Again, your library is going to decide when you want to move over. So until that point, this is why on our LibGuide here, let me get back to it. On our LibGuide, you're actually still going to see directions for downloading in Adobe Digital with Adobe Digital Editions and downloading within the app, because for quite some time we're going to have libraries that are still using Adobe Digital Editions. They haven't made the move yet, and then we're going to have libraries that have moved over to the app. So just
Mhm.
know that you're going to see multiple things. And we have had um, support tickets come in where a user has seen that the app is coming, so they've went and downloaded the app on their phone, but their library hasn't enabled the app yet on their ebook central platform. So of course they can't use the app yet. So they may have it on their device, but they can't use it until the library has enabled that within ebook central.
All right, folks, if we have no other questions, we will wrap up for this afternoon. Please keep an eye out for an email with the recording, the slides, the feedback survey, and I'll also include some of the links that Lori shared as well. But yeah, thanks y'all so much. Have
All right.
a great rest of your Thursday, and thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, take care.